So just under 6 minutes to go to the start of the clean and jerk. It'll start gently and hopefully, Michaela, it's going to finish fiercely.
Well, if it's the snatch is anything to go by, we're in for a treat.
So a chance to look at the best of the lifts, and there were some very good lifts. So Tumanidze, 190, 197, attempting 201. And in discomfort, you and both of us were really impressed.
That's right, carrying an injury to his right thigh or adductor, heavily strapped, fighting through the pain. Just watch how he stands up on the good leg. He's really trying to protect that injury. Let's hope it doesn't cause him any problems going into the clean and jerk. 201. There's your bronze medal.
It's worth emphasising, isn't it? All the big names, all the favourites. You know, Albagov, Tumanidze, Minasian and Talakhadze. All those men made all their lifts in the first half.
Olympic champion in Rio.
Minasian, 200, 205, 211. What an incredible third attempt to, you know, hang on to this, to stay close. And you're about to see this remarkable effort. There are not many men who could do this.
Just watch how wide he has his hands, puts the shoulders and elbows under a lot of strain.
Representing Armenia.
So, what a fight. How he managed to stay on the platform. Only just. It's a good lift. So you see again the fight and the battle he has.
The only criticism was really he used a lot of energy doing that. And so now Lasha Talakhadze, he started impressively, 203 and 210. So now Talakhadze, as I said, 203, 210. I mean, every lift improved, not just in weight, but actually in quality of performance. And then puts a kilo on here over the previous world best. It's up and amazing, Mikhaila.
Just incredible lifting. He needed 212 to guarantee himself the gold medal on the snatch. He wasn't interested in that. He came here for a world record.
And that just tells you how he has prepared for the championship. Because respect to come to a European championship. There's a big year ahead. He'll want to go for the world title in Anaheim in California in December. So respect to him that he's that well tuned up, and we might have more record attempts before this afternoon is over. Well, I can't wait, but we all will have to wait as the rest of the field. So Talakhadze with a 6 kilo advantage over Gor Manisian. And Tumanidze, he's 16 kilos back and 21 back to Albagov. But some big weights posted for openers in the upcoming clean and jerk. Well, once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to Split in Croatia. Michaela Breeze together with myself, David Goldstrom. The final chapter of the 2017 European Weightlifting Championships. We're at the halfway stage in the men's super heavyweight class, and the clean and jerk about to get underway. A new world record in the snatch by the Olympic champion Lasha Talakhadze. But first out to start the clean and jerk, this is Daniel Dawenga, one of 3 Dawenga brothers. One on the stage, one in the corner, one back at home in the army. 213 kilos, 213 on the bar.
But by no means looks comfortable on an opening attempt. He's had to work hard for that, and he looks tired. He looks lethargic, and
but he's well below where I would expect him to be at his very best. I mean, European Championships, he's never won the senior title. He's never medalled at the senior title. He got close a couple of seasons ago when he actually clean and jerked 230 kilos. So that's the sort of territory he can be in if he's 100%. But I agree with you, Michaela, he's just not there yet.
Body language doesn't say positive things, does it?
No, it doesn't. Pedernage of Hungary growling around. Quite a character. And really pleasing to see Hungary getting on to the medal roster, thanks to Christina Magat in the women's super heavyweights today. 3 bronze medals, 21 countries taking home medals. We'll see if that's added to. Obviously, it should be with Georgia, but bar going to 215 kilos for Hungary's Pedernage. So, again, this is a man who, well, in his time, has got into the 230s.
When it's to arm's length, a couple of shuffles around the platform, but he's managed to stand still.
Yeah, it's good. It's interesting in the first phase here. Some of these men, they're huge, but they're almost balletic.
No, again, body language doesn't speak positivity, does it? He really seems to be struggling with something. Clean was strong, and the jerk just about went to arm's length. He's a very tall guy. It's a long way for that bar to travel. Working hard right until the time he's told to put it down.
And the first 2 men you've seen in the clean and jerk, they've yet to get to grips with the man who produced the best total early this morning, Mizashik of Belarus, Alexei Mizashik, who totaled up 400 kilos, 216 kilos, sorry, 218 kilos in the clean and jerk. So at the moment, 218 and a total of 400 is the leading statistic in both of those sections. And now Kuchera for the Czech Republic. Kuchera down in 10th place, 37 kilos down on the new Snatch world record holder. So 217 moves Kuchera up into clean and jerk silver and overall silver. What we need to see is everybody getting their first attempts, just building and building their confidence at the same time.
Yeah, they really are building. It's great to see so many, I don't want to tempt fate now, but good lifts. The lifters really are performing when it matters here on the big stage.
A lot of people around the world, you know, for years and years and years, when you say the word weightlifting, they relate very much to these big boys, the super heavyweights.
Yeah, they do. The big guys, they have a reputation for being the ones to watch and follow. It's great that the following for all the lighter categories is really been positive as well.
So Oleg Proshak for the Ukraine, opening up 220.
Just relaxed at the bottom, didn't he? That's going to have taken a lot out of him. He's just taken a second so he can regain his focus before he hits the deck. It's not a nice place to be when you go dizzy. Pressure and the strain to execute these movements. 220 kilos, big weights to be sat on top of the shoulders.
Yeah, that's a pretty horrible feeling. You can see how close to the windpipe that is. And these guys, you know, we've been lifting here all day, television lights on, getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Perenaj waiting in the wings to come in. Naj taking a 5 kilo increase. Talk to Peter and he talks about the fact that he's often not near the medals, but he just loves this. He loves feeling strong and good. That's okay, better than the first one.
Yeah, well done, Peter, really good. And do you know what, this sport is about that. When you feel good, when you feel strong, you feel good. It's a knock-on effect, and that's why so many people around the world are enjoying weightlifting as a sport. Good clean, keeps his chest high, has a tendency to drop his chest, but that was good. Big effort overhead.
Naj into first place. Proshak, second attempt. Two failures, big trouble.
And again, he's struggling with balance and dizziness. Whoops, doctor's there just to make sure he's okay. He'll be all right. It just takes a second, but the recovery now is important. Both of those two lifts where he's gone dizzy, he's sunk into the deep squat position. He's almost collapsed a little bit at the bottom, and that's probably what's causing him so many issues. Here we see him just sink, and that's really hard then to get the bar moving and stand back up. Hardly moves his feet at all, and that's probably because he's lost all consciousness of what he's doing.
So we're in the early stages. A couple of corrections we just need to make, Michaela, from earlier in the day.
Yes, completely misinformed the viewers back home, so my sincere apologies to Matthias Steiner. Absolutely not implicated in any doping. He had his samples retested, as did many athletes who won medals at Olympic Games, but that's it, they were clean. And David Bedzanian, well, he was implicated in the McLaren report, but has been let off any wrongdoing. So that's the reason he's back here competing. So completely my mistake, and apologies for that.
But looking, I have to say, in the 105 kilos, a shadow of his former self.
Absolutely, yes. David Bedzanian clearly nowhere near the form that he's been in. And let's hope now that we can start a new chapter and put a lot of the doping scandals of previous years behind us.
Yeah, well, we need a package of measures, and we also need to find a way of rehabilitating some of the sportsmen, if that's possible. But now Prošek and the audience have recognised the problems that Prošek's got. Now, come on. Good clean.
Much better.
Yeah. He's given himself a chance. Come on, come on. Oh.
What a shame.
The hips were behind and he couldn't save it.
What a shame. Well, you can see even there he's struggling just to regain himself. There's not much you can do. Oh, there you are.
Dear.
Somebody give him a hand off.
Well, it's okay. The loaders were watching. The doctor was alert there. Technical controller as well.
Well, that typically happens, David, with athletes that have had to reduce body weight. But in the supers, there's no excuse for it, really. And you've got to wonder why he's struggling so much. Is it because he's hot? Is he maybe dehydrated? No reason to be dehydrated, but something's causing this. So close to having it overhead this time.
That's a real shame. But the competition moves forward, and Daniel Dowenga for Poland now on the stage. And this is a 8-kilo increase. So he's on 393. So he's going for 401. And this will put him up into second place in the overall behind Padanaj, who's already got that 401.
Relax the explosion through the middle, has to work hard. No.
Well, we commented last time we saw him that he also, we didn't recognise him as the lifter we know he can be.
Yeah, he's just, at the moment, I see a lifter that looks tired. He doesn't look explosive, he doesn't look sharp, and he's certainly not on the ball today. Body language is just too lethargic and a little bit on the negative side. Even if he's feeling rubbish, he needs to find something from somewhere. Somebody give him a bit of a slap, a bit of a wake-up call. Get that adrenaline going.
So it'll be Kamil Kuchera coming out for 221. Just see there, and he can't save that. Impossible. And that's our Ukrainian. That's Prošek.
He's okay, he's fine. He's just trying to get some blood back to the head. Just needs a minute to steady himself. He'll be fine. He's probably pretty cheesed off right now, lying there without a total.
These boys will be having a celebratory glass or two of something tonight, as will you on your way to your holidays.
Well, it's been a tremendous championships, David, don't you think?
Yeah, really enjoyed it, particularly when you look at it in its circumstance, beginning of a new Olympic cycle, lots of people who've taken a break, building up again, new young talent coming in at the beginning of a 4-year cycle. Well, I was going to have a ponder about the lifter of the championships, but I think we've seen him already.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubting that the man who currently leads this group, Lasha Talakadze, the only man to break any world records here.
So, out on the stage, Kuchera. 222 on the bar. 5-kilo increase. This for the lead.
It's there, needs to fight it, needs to keep it there. Not a good idea to close your eyes, though. No. That's going to affect your balance somewhat.
Once again, the central referee not convinced, so hopefully we'll have a look at this from the front. Jury pretty motionless.
It looks okay to me at first glance. Let's have a look. Watching the elbows. Soft.
But okay.
I'd give that, yeah.
Yeah. Dowenga. 222. Last throw of the dice for him. $10-kilo increase.
Ooh, slow off the floor.
Well, that looked as if it was in slow motion.
It looked, I mean, the speed from the floor doesn't matter, but the manner in which you do it is important. If you come off and it just looks slow and lethargic, that's different from it being slow but still a positive leg drive, and just wasn't that positivity as he came off the floor.
Yeah, no spark, no flame, back to the drawing board. So, Kamil Kuchera, Czech Republic, with 4:02 by a kilo ahead of Patanaj of Hungary, who's now going to come out and try and counter. And he's asked for an extra 4 kilos. This will take him to 405 kilos. 6 last year in the Europeans with 414. So he's not going to get to that total.
Well, it's to arm's length.
Yeah.
Good job, Peter. Well done. 3 from 3.
And again, the central referee not seeing this in the way that his compatriot referees are seeing this.
You would forgive a referee for maybe one mistake, but I don't know. Let's have another look before we make any judgments.
Finn Jensen from Denmark is the central referee this afternoon.
Well, it's not the best lockout, but again, there's no press out, so no. It's a good lift to me.
So, Patanaj, 4:05 at the top, and the Hungarians happy with him. 5 out of 6 lifts. And Kuchera now on for his last attempt, and he's asked for an extra 4 kilos. That will take him to 4:06, just that necessary kilo to go into first place. Just a reminder of those rules. Came in the 1st of January. Body weights no longer decide or determine positions or placings or even medals. Now, first man to the high weight holds on to that position until another man comes through and beats it by a kilo. 2:26 on the bar, 15 seconds.
Oh dear. Well, that's a shame.
So 2 men ahead of the B group lifter, who totaled up 400, who's still at this particular moment in 3rd position, but lots of lifting to come.
Oh, David, that's a real shame. Just looking at the scoreboard, Termanidze, who was carrying, he's a bronze medalist from the Snatch, was carrying that quad injury.
And he can't come out.
He's declared himself as out of the competition. I'm guessing it's causing him too many problems. What a shame.
Yeah, that opens the door for Albagov, who's posted this, well, he did post 250 as his opening weight. Well, that might be gamesmanship. But that, I have to say, that's really, really sad that we've lost Termanidze, because that's taken some icing away from us. And we wish him well. Irakli Termanidze, the Olympic bronze medalist, out of the competition. He does have, though, a consolation prize, in as much that Termanidze has got the bronze medal from the first half, but and he had to be gutsy to get that.
Really, really disappointing when you prepare so well and then you just tweak something coming into the competition. It happens time and time again, and he's done really well to get through the snatch, but clearly in discomfort.
Yeah, but it's not just a question of discomfort. There comes a point there you can see the recognition that he's retired, but you have to be careful that you don't do any further damage. That's important. This is Gormanisian, opening up on 2:35, second place at the halfway stage. Powerful man. Needs to get those feet in line. It has done now.
Well, the way his feet were going there, I thought he was going to start to dance. He did well to steady himself. Once you start moving around, then you can become really unstable. Did well.
That's what these boys will be doing at the final banquet. I gather there's live music, and the Croatians want us to celebrate with them. Now, what sort of possibility is this given to Mart Syme? He's got to go for big numbers to drag himself into contention here.
I don't know, I think he's too far down. He's
well, 180, you're right.
16 kilos down on Albagov, who is now probably favourite to go into the medals.
Well, technically he is in the medals, but Mart Syme, Estonia. This is where he's most comfortable, though, in the clean and jerk.
Well, in the clean, I'm not so sure about the jerk. It was there, it was good, a good lift, but he's going to need to put a bit more effort into the drive, getting it off the shoulders.
When you look at the bar, though, it's frightening, isn't it? You know, 4 big red 25-kilo weights on either end of it.
There are certain milestones in weightlifting, and the colour of the discs is often significant. The first time you have this weight on, or the first time you have that weight on, or 2 discs, or 3 discs, or even 4 discs in this case.
But 8 Eleiko Reds is impressive.
8 Eleiko Reds is heavy.
So that's the state of play. You can see there, this is the clean and jerk rankings. As far as the total is concerned, Mart Syme has hauled himself into 2nd place at the moment, still has 2 attempts, but he's going to have to make both of them if he wants to be a player. He's going to have to be very brave about what he goes for here, but he's also got to be intelligent.
But it depends what his goals are and what his ambitions are. If he wants a medal, he's going to have to be very brave.
So, Albagov.
Oh, Albagov.
Well, he's come down, yeah.
He put in 250 as an opener, and we thought he was playing mind games. He's come down to 237.
Well, of course, one of his major opponents has disappeared through injury. Well, well, it needs to get the feet in line, but overall, reasonable opener. There's Tatiana Kashirina, super heavyweight champion of Europe earlier in the day for a sixth occasion.
Keeps his chest high all the way through the cleans and stands straight out. Good split position, nice and even. Great lifting.
So, Lasha Talakadze coming out for 1 kilo more, which will put him into the lead in the clean and jerk. Obviously, if he lifts this, he will go into the overall lead as well. It is his opener. And he got the lift, but I could see the coaching corner. They're getting quite annoyed with some people behind us here who were rather ignorantly making a noise. It was applause, but it's
going to affect the coaches more than the lifter. The lifter would have been completely in the zone and oblivious to anything else that's going on here in the stadium. They learn, or they tune in, they zone out to everything else. But that was a really convincing opening attempt from Lasha Talakadze. 2 attempts remaining.
Yeah, he's got a running total of 4:55. He is the world record holder for the total on 4:73, but I don't think he's going to have to go there to win this European title. He is the Olympic champion. He is the world champion and the European champion. Not too many lifters actually hold all 3 of those titles, Olympic, world and continental, at the same time. Now, Alex Sunyan for Armenia. 240 kilos, first attempt. In 6th place, 190 kilos he brings forward from the first half of the competition. representing Armenia.
He's got the down signal, that's a good lift. And each lifter has their own way of preparing. Well, he didn't even look at where he was putting his hands on the bar.
And the jury
is
stopped.
stopping.
Well, there was a split decision there, 2-1 in his favour. So again, here we'll have a look at it.
Well, the clean was good, no problems there. Watch both elbows. Okay, do you know what I'd fail that on? Oscillation.
I was talking to Tina Byte at the break.
Well, okay, so they're arguing press out.
Yeah, I was talking to them about oscillation, deliberate oscillation, as opposed to...
Didn't think the arms looked too bad, but I would have failed it on oscillation for that, but I'm not sure about the arms. Let's see what the jury make of it. Decision stands. It's a good lift.
And that's a good decision as well. Yeah. So a bit of relief there for Alexian, who now goes up into 4th place. And there's a definite fight on here, certainly for the bronze medal. And Gormanisian coming out now. 5 kilo increase to take him to 451.
Oh, lost his grip. You see these lifters, they start with their hands on the bar with hook grip. As the bar lands on the shoulders, the thumbs are out. And quite often you'll see the lifters lose their little finger and maybe even 1 or 2 others. Not often do you see a lifter losing the whole hand. Let's have a look.
I think he might have to follow himself. So nobody's going to want this. And just to let you know where we are, Ruslan Albagov has put the second attempt up to 250. Mart Syme is on 245. And 247, Lasha Talakhadze. Those are the remaining players. And so Manisian, unless he puts the bar up, and he's going to have to put it up some way, has got to come out. So Manisian, third attempt, 240.
Well, that's a real shame. 2 successive failures on that weight.
Yeah.
That's going to be very costly for him.
Now, the opportunity, is there an opportunity? Because he represents Armenia. Alexian, who is also from Armenia, lifted 240. He's 16 kilos off his teammate. He'd have to do something amazing. But he has lifted 246 in his time, Alexian. It was a couple of years ago. But Mart Syme now, 235. He's a long way. What is he? He's 18 kilos off the overall medals at the moment. He was a European bronze medalist last year. So 242. 7 kilo increase. 242 will put him into the lead in the clean and jerk, but he'd still be out of the medals overall.
Oh, he's shaking under the bar. Oh, a really good effort by Mart Syme. When he stood out to the clean, I wasn't sure His body seems to be quivering underneath the stress.
Well, it was quivering, but it actually was a good lift. The sad thing for him is those 2 failures in the snatch division have really compromised his afternoon and evening now.
Just highlights how important at this level that technique is. Good technique equals consistency.
If he'd gone 185 and then he'd gone one more 90 and had those extra 2 kilos, he'd be snapping at their heels now for a medal. But Albagov now, lying in bronze, 6 kilos for 439. Well, one by one, they're all getting found out.
Albagov now is the next person under pressure. Just see them taking a steady walk off the platform. They don't get very long to recover here. If there's only 1 or 2 lifters before them, or in this case, he may be following himself. I don't think he will. I think he'll go up.
Well, you've got Martzheim, who's put the bar to 246. You've got Alexian of Armenia, who's got the bar at 245. Now, that's the situation in the overall. You can see Alexian just 3 kilos out of the medals behind Albagov. So his coaches will have an eye on that, because Alexian's got 2 attempts. Albagov's only got 1 left. And Alexian putting the bar to 245. I think this is quite sensible, because he's going to turn the screw on Albagov. And Alexian 244. So that would be 234, just the kilo he needs to go into 3rd place.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to play the scoreboard. You come here with ambitions of the weights you want to lift, but all that can go out the window when the competition unfolds and you know what you need for medals.
There's the clean and jerk situation. Indeed, you come with plan A, but then somehow you've got to have plan B, C, and possibly D up your sleeve. And now Alexian, Ruben Alexanyan. Alexanyan. And he's going to get that. So he's got 1 more attempt to play with. He's just got to see how the likes of Albagov go. He's too far behind Gormanisian at the moment. And Talakhadze, I think this is again very sensible, coming in at 245. I mean, he is at the moment 9 kilos ahead of Gormanisian. But I think he's being very sensible, very measured, concentrating on winning the title, retaining the title. And then he might just have one for fun. Or something a little bit more serious. So this well, it's actually a 7 kilo increase to take him to 462. And needs to stand, and he has done.
There was a small smile there, as if to say, come on, I've got control over this.
I just looked at the way that, when that bar came down on the stage.
Clean, was comfortable. Look how easily he stands. Nice position, hips underneath the shoulders, underneath the bar.
Georgia Azanidze looking on. Well, Talakhadze is untouchable. It's all about silver and bronze now. And Albagov. that's his final attempt. And you know, Alexanyan of Armenia, Alexian, played it exactly right, because he took what he needed to go ahead of Albagov, that extra kilo, 244 and 434. He's a kilo ahead of Albagov, who's finished his lifting, and there are two Armenians who are going to be on the medal podium.
Well, it's going to be a disappointing finish to Albagov's campaign. He will not be happy with his finishes now outside of the overall medals.
Yeah, and no discipline medals either, so Mark's signed now. So the bar has gone to 246, 4 kilos. He can't get into the overall medals, but the reason he's gone for 246 is to get ahead of Talakhadze in the clean and jerk. If he does this, he's guaranteed a clean and jerk medal. Got to fight for it. All credit to him, and goes to the top of the clean and jerk rankings. Now he's left with a total of 426, and here we come to the if onlys. If he got that extra 10 kilos in the snatch, if he had done, he would have been on 436, and he would have been in the overall bronze medal position.
Well, I think on reflection, he's going to be quite happy to take away a medal just in the clean and jerk. He worked hard all the way through that lift. He did well to hold on to it.
Well, I think it's good that he's fought back and got a medal. That shows determination, fight, guts, also clarity of thinking. And I agree, but I still think it'll be disappointing not to have got an overall medal. Now, the business end. 247, 3 kilos. Now, the reason he's taken 3 kilos is to go to the 247 to put himself in the lead in the clean and jerk. In the clean and jerk, this would take him 2 kilos ahead of Talakhadze. He's already secured the overall bronze. Oh, ooh.
I think that was more a case of ripping a hand. I hope he's okay.
Loaders are on. And doctor's right there. I just want to say, whilst they look after Alexanyan, I just want to say how good the loaders have been. He's up on his feet. That's good to see. He's all right.
I'm not sure what he's holding, whether it's elbow, wrist, I don't know.
No, can't really tell. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah. Wrist, I think.
I want to see that again. Did his elbow touch his knee?
Let's just concentrate for the moment. This is the last lift of the championships. Lasha Talakhadze, European champion in 2016, I should say, in Norway. He's retained the title. He is the Olympic, world and European champion. And that is 467 kilos, and he's made 6 out of 6, and he is very definitely the master of the class, and he's treated us to the only world record of the championship in the snatch phase, 217 kilos. So he now owns the snatch world record and the overall world record from Rio.
Well, very impressive, stands with ease. And the jerk drives nicely to arm's length. Knee supports come undone, but who cares? Brilliant lifting from Lasha Talakhadze.
One or two had misfortunes, but Talakadze was really, all the way through this, absolutely the master of the class.
Faultless, absolutely brilliant. 6 out of 6 lifts, European champion, world record holder. Awesome day.
He finishes on 4.67. You're looking at the clean and jerk results there. The gold medal to Talakadze. You can see Mart Syme as a result of Alexanyan's unfortunate error in silver medal position. And the bronze in the clean and jerk going to Alexanyan. But this is worth looking at again.
Keeps his chest up. So easy for that bar to pull you forwards. Drives through the start position nicely to arm's length.
I'd like to see the snatch world record. Maybe they'll show it to us. So welcome back to Split, just the final medal ceremony of the championships. I hope you've enjoyed the competitions over the past 7 days. 23 countries out of 41 participating national federations, members of the European Weightlifting Federation, taking medals. That is tremendous. I think I'll have to check, but I do believe that is the greatest number of European national federations to have taken European medals, well, certainly in the last 5 years. And I could well be a record in terms of national federation achievements. And that's very healthy. It is an indicator that the intensive testing, which is really stronger in Europe than anywhere else in the world, really is beginning to pay off. Now we've seen the clean and jerk. Please show me the record in the snatch. So Talakadze, the gold, 4.67. Gormanisian, 4.46. So the Olympic gold and silver medalists, once again in exactly the same positions as Rio. And Ruben Alexanyan of Armenia, third, ahead of Ruslan Albagov. But also, not to forget Turmanidze, Irakli Turmanidze, who had to retire from the competition after the halfway stage. He's got the bronze medal to collect after 3 really gutsy snatches, particularly the last one, 201 kilos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ceremony in men's class. 105 kilograms category of the European Senior Weightlifting Championships. Split Russia 2017. And first I would like to introduce...
So the medal presentation's about to get underway.
Mr. Daniel Primus, President of Russian Weightlifting Federation, and Mr. Dr. Hasan Atush, Deputy General Secretary of European Weightlifting Federation. And first, victory ceremony total.
So the medals for the overall championship. In third place, sees wrist bandage there. Ruben Alexanyan, 190 in the snatch phase, 244 for a total of 434, denying Ruslan Albagov the overall bronze medal by a kilo. Gormanisian for Armenia, just ahead of his teammates, 211, 235, 446. And now the top gladiator, and it's Lasha Talakadze, still Olympic, world and European champion. So Georgia finish in the shape and form of last